I'll do whatever it takes to get an audition.
That you capture other people's pigeons with it?
Wait. So you capture other people's pigeons?
Yes.
Okay, that's not pigeon racing. What's that? That's pigeon capture.
Pigeons have always been a popular pastime in Afghanistan, and they're the stars of a highly competitive daily sporting event that plays out above the rooftops of Kabul.
Those are what I call it, the soldiers.
The soldiers?
Yeah.
Why the soldiers?
Because they're the fighters.
These are the ones that actually...
Yeah, they'll come out now.
Well, hey.
They know their job.
The soldiers.
This is where you give them the direction.
Right.
You move this, they will go that direction. And you have to whistle. I have done it for like more than 20 years.
20 years?
Yes.
So, what happens when you capture a pigeon? What happens to what does the other person do who loses the pigeon?
They come to you, they buy it, or you don't give it back. You just keep it.
They have to buy their own pigeon back.
Yeah.
Can you make money out of pigeon fighting, pigeon capturing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've made money.
Yeah, a lot. I'm going to capture one.
Let's do it.
Okay, here you go.
Wow.
Masood stayed in Kabul during the Taliban years, when pigeon fighting was banned, and he was actually the official newsreader on their international radio station.
What kind of music were the Taliban into?
There was no music.
No music?
No music, but there were some Islamic chants by Yusuf Islam, the so-called.
By Yusuf Islam?
Yeah.
You mean like Cat Stevens?
Yeah.
So his Islamic chants were allowed to be played?
Yeah, I remember one of the songs, Where Do You Live? Oh, where do you live? In a tin tower. I know that.
So they didn't sing anything? Moon shadow, none of those ones?
No.
It's not time to make change. Just relax. Take it easy.
It was really Islamic.
It's just Islamic.
It's all about Allah and Muhammad the Prophet.
You know who else wants to be a singer on television?
You.
Me.
Really?
That's what I came here to talk to you about today.
Okay. Do you want me in Afghan stock?
Yeah, I wanted to audition. Is it possible?
I don't think it's a problem, but I have to check with my
bosses.
Yes.
First part of the mission accomplished. Now I just have to hope that Masood's bosses are as welcoming as him.
Have a good one. Salam.
The next morning, a suicide bomb alert goes up around Kabul, so I decide to get a security briefing from an expert. Bill Foxton is an Englishman working as head of security for an international agency. Cambridge educated, Bill spent 30 years in the British Army, Special Forces, time in the Balkans, and had his arm and leg blown off fighting a secret war in the Middle East. I might just show you on the map where we're going to go to. Is it okay if put it out here? Going to Bal? I asked Bill about the potential dangers of traveling in Afghanistan. What would be your biggest fear for us while out there?
Kidnapping.
Kidnapping?
Kidnapping, I would have thought, you know. In Kabul it happens 3, 4, 5 times a week. You know, it's a national sport.
And that's not all. IEDs, roadside bombs, suicide bombings, shootings, criminal attacks, the Taliban. By the time he finished, I needed a cigarette and a chance to think. I hear that the Taliban has promised a spring offensive this year.
They promise it every year. April 21st is the end of spring planting.
Yeah.
And September 21st is harvest. So everybody comes home to do the harvest.
To work.
And lay up their guns. I mean, you're okay till the 21st of April, and then the war will start.
That's when we're leaving.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So basically, the next few months in Afghanistan will be the most dangerous time of the year. Or as the locals would soon come to tell me, the season of the Taliban.
I mean, I have to ask you, why are you doing this?
You know, it's a very good question.
Have you sought professional medical help?
We probably should. The reason that we're doing it is because the world only ever gets to hear probably 3 or 4 things about Afghanistan, and that's the Taliban, terrorism, burqa, and oppression, and poverty. And so we want to get in kind of beyond that. We want to get in beyond the extreme. Bill left me with strict instructions not to go out alone on the streets of Kabul. Unfortunately, I don't have that luxury. Most foreigners in Kabul live and work in heavily guarded compounds, never venturing out without armed guards and bulletproof convoys. But I'm on my own, and I can't do that. After the Taliban were defeated in 2001, they regrouped and returned a few years later to start up battle with the international forces in the country. But they can't take over Kabul by force because it's protected by international and Afghan troops. So they've set about turning the streets into a different kind of war zone, one based on terror and dominated by the ever-present threat of attacks and suicide bombs. And the biggest target of these attacks are foreigners like me. But the simple fact is that if I want access to ordinary Afghans, I'm going to have to put myself into some extraordinarily dangerous situations. But that's a risk I have to take.
Diego Buñuel is back to report on Nat Geo Adventure.
This place has more than 20 million people
from around the globe.
Hey, this is dangerous commuting, huh?
You can tell he'll go anywhere to get the story.
We get caught by the border police.